Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a recap of Monday's picks. Unfortunately, there was no games yesterday, but do applaud the NBA for doing that, putting no games out, trying to encourage people to go out and vote. But it is going to be a 12-game or a 13-game slate today, just depending on which site you play on. FanDuel has the extra early game, whereas DraftKings does not. But we're going to be going over the injuries for all 13 games and then the core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of Monday's picks. On the DraftKings side, we had Russell Westbrook at the point guard position. He was $6,500. Got the 37.25, so he was a really good hit. Then at shooting guard, we had D'Anthony Melton at $5,300. Looking for about 26 points on him. He got to 23.75, so he was a miss. Only 2 for 7 shooting on the day. Not too much else there. Just expected a little bit more out of him, but still wasn't the end of the world. And then small forward, we had OG Anunoby at $6,200. Had been playing really well. We were looking for 31 fantasy points on him. Got to 23.5, so he ended up being a miss. 4 for 12 from the field, 4 turnovers. Just not a lot really there on Monday for him overall, which was a little unfortunate. Then his teammate, Chris Boucher, at $4,400. Got to 3.25. He was a miss. Only ended up playing 14 minutes and did not do anything in this game. Obviously was expecting him to play like 20 plus minutes and really pay off at that price tag overall. Unfortunately, that did not end up happening. Then last but not least, we had Isaiah Hartenstein at center, who was $5,200. Was looking for 26 points out. Only got to 16. He was a miss. Did not end up starting this game. Only played 21 minutes, so really unfortunate there overall. So DraftKings side, not too hot of a day overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Fred VanVleet at point guard at $7,200. Looking for 36 points on him. He got to 46.6, so he was a really good hit on Monday. And then at shooting guard, we had Terrence Mann at $3,600. Looking for 18 points on him. He got to 33.3, so he was a really good hit at that shooting guard position. At small forward, we had Kyle Anderson at $3,600. Looking for 18 points on him. He got to 23.4, so he was a good hit as well. Then we moved down to power forward, where we had Isaiah Hartenstein once again, $5,200. Looking for 26 points on him. Got to 16.2, so he ended up being a miss. Obviously did not end up starting and only played 21 minutes in that game overall. And then last but not least, we had Chris Boucher at center, who was $5,300. And he was 2.6 points. He ended up being a miss. Obviously only played 14 minutes in that game. There was one point in time where I was thinking about just switching him straight off to Brandon Clark, but really didn't have anybody else to pay up for, so I did that in a couple lineups, but not every single lineup overall. But not a bad day by any means on the FanDuel side. If you were able to get off Hartenstein or Boucher and play some other options, you had a pretty good chance of cashing. And then if you had some other decent plays along with these 5, you had a decent shot at cashing as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for today's games overall. So we're going to start off with the island game, you can call it, I guess, with the Dallas Mavericks and the Orlando Magic. So this game is on the FanDuel slate. It is not on the DraftKings slate, so just keep that in mind for tonight overall. The Mavericks are without Christian Wood and Davis Bertans, so could be some value at that center position tonight, whether it's a JaVale McGee, Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, somebody like that, since there is no Christian Wood. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. is questionable to play tonight. We'll see if he ends up playing tonight or not. On the Orlando Magic side, they were without Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Wagner once again. And then we have Kevon Harris listed as questionable to play, as well as Paolo Banchero, who obviously has been the focal point of their team so far this season. If he does not end up playing, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr. probably going to take a bigger role. We might see Terrence Ross or Chuma Okeke enter the starting lineup at that point in time. Then we move over to the full main slate, which is the full main slate for DraftKings. Obviously, the full main slate includes the early game for FanDuel overall. But we're going to start off with the Denver Nuggets, who are without Colin Gillespie. Once again, Ish Smith and Zeke Naji both doubtful to play, so no real changes there. For the Pacers, Chris Duarte and Daniel Tice are both out once again. Aaron Nesmith listed as questionable to play. He's missed, I believe, the last 4 games now with his foot injury, so we'll see if he plays tonight or not. For the Portland Trailblazers, they're without Gary Payton II and Olivier Sarr. Keon Johnson is listed as questionable. We'll see if he plays tonight or not. And then we have John Butler, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, Joseph Nurkic, Anthony Simons, and Justice Winslow. All listed as game time decisions, but all expected to play tonight. On the Hornets side, they're without LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward once again. Cody Martin is listed as doubtful, so he's likely to miss again. So pretty similar to what we've seen the last time out for this team. Moving down to the Utah Jazz, Jared Vanderbilt is listed as questionable to play. He's missed the previous 2 games, so we'll see if he's good to go tonight or not. Probably not too big of an impact on DFS overall, though. Then for the Atlanta Hawks, Bogdan Bogdanovic is out once again. Trae Young listed as questionable to play. He did miss the last time out versus the Bucks. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. If he's not back tonight, DeJounte Murray is going to make an excellent play on both sides. Moving down to the Detroit Pistons, Marvin Bagley is listed as doubtful to play once again today. Alex Burks listed as questionable, so we'll see if he makes his season debut tonight or not. For the Boston Celtics, Robert Williams and Danilo Gallinari are both out, so no real changes there. For the New York Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's out once again. We'll see if Jericho Sims or Isaiah Hartenstein gets the start tonight. Probably going to be Jericho Sims going against the more athletic center and Nick Claxton tonight. And then Quentin Grimes also listed as questionable to play. He has not played the past 2 games. For the Brooklyn Nets, they're without Kyrie Irving, TJ Warren, and now Yuta Watanabe is also out as well. At least early on, sounds like Ben Simmons probably going to be on some type of minutes limit once again tonight if he does end up playing. And then for the Houston Rockets, Bruno Fernando and Jayshawn Tate are both out once again, so no real changes there at this point in time. Toronto Raptors are without Kem Birch and Pascal Siakam once again, and then Champagnie is listed as questionable to play. Probably not going to be in the rotation either way, though. Moving down to the Pelicans, we have Kira Lewis, EJ Liddell, and Garrett Temple all listed as out. And then Larry Nance is questionable to play. Obviously, that backup center run for them. If he doesn't end up playing today, Jonas Valanciunas looks like a little bit better value. And maybe we see, like Jackson Hayes mix in at that backup center spot overall. Or maybe they decide Zion Williamson over to the center position, especially in the times when Nikolai Vucevic is not on the floor. Then for the Chicago Bulls, they're without Lonzo Ball and Kobe White once again. Andre Drummond listed as questionable to play. We'll see if he's back tonight or not, dealing with his shoulder injury. For the Phoenix Suns, they're without Wainwright, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, all once again. Dwayne Washington's listed as questionable to play. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. And then Chris Paul is questionable dealing with a heel injury. If he does not end up playing, Devin Booker and Cam Payne are both going to look pretty good tonight, as well as some other guys, maybe like a Damian Lee, a Landry Shamet, somebody else that gets some extra minutes tonight as well. Minnesota Timberwolves get Rudy Gobert back tonight, and then Luka Garza and Minot are both inactive, both probably going to the G League at this point in time. Then we move down to the Memphis Grizzlies, who are without Danny Green, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zaire Williams once again. Steven Adams listed as questionable to play. He did miss Monday's game, so just keep an eye out on that. If he doesn't end up playing, Brandon Clark's going to look pretty good tonight. Then for the San Antonio Spurs, we got Weasley and Zach Collins both out once again. Doug McDermott listed as a game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing tonight or not. For the Milwaukee Bucks, they're without Pat Connaughton, AJ Green, Joe Ingles, and Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday is listed as doubtful tonight, so there could be some value opening up on this Bucks team overall. But at the same time, George Hill and Javon Carter, not really super exciting plays. They kind of capped in terms of their upside overall. Giannis listed as a game-time decision, but expected to play once again. And then for the Thunder, Povashevsky is listed as questionable. He did miss the previous game out. Not too much value to be had if he does not end up playing overall. For the Lakers, they're without Thomas Bryant and Dennis Schroeder once again. Lonnie Walker is questionable to play after missing on Monday. LeBron James and Anthony Davis both listed as game-time decisions, but both expected to play tonight. Looks like Patrick Beverley should be back, as well as LeBron James, after both missing on Monday. For the Clippers, they're just without Kawhi Leonard once again tonight, so it looks like Robert Covington will make his return. And then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers without Ricky Rubio and Dylan Windler, so no real changes there. And then for the Sacramento Kings, just Malik Monk listed as a game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing tonight or not. Not too big of an impact overall for DFS, though. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight. Obviously, going to be some ones that we're keeping an eye out on tonight. The Steven Adams one's probably going to have some impact overall. Obviously, Drew Holiday is doubtful at this point in time, so there's some value opening up there. Larry Nance could matter. Chris Paul could matter quite a bit. And then obviously Trae Young as well as Paolo Banchero if you're playing on FanDuel tonight. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Darius Garland. He's $6,900. You're looking for 35 points on. He's averaging just under 39 so far on the season. Goes against the Sacramento Kings tonight. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him overall. Currently, I'm projected for 38 points tonight, but definitely has some upside for more. And he's actually been playing really well since he made his return to the lineup. Then in shooting guard, we're going to go with the rookie in Jaden Ivey. He's $5,500. Looking for 27, 28 fantasy points on him. He's averaging 30 so far on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 29 tonight. Could have some upside for more. He's been pretty consistent so far this year. There's been a couple of down games here and there, but most of the time he's around 28 to 30 points. Then in small forward, we're going to a cheap paydown option, assuming Chris Paul does not play tonight. $3,200 Damon Lee coming off the bench, getting some extra minutes. You only need 16 points on him. Currently, I'm projected for about 18, 19 points tonight. Could be a pretty good value play overall. And then we slide over to the power forward position with Isaiah Stewart. He's $5,400. We're looking for 27 points on him. He's averaging 30 so far in the season, and I currently have him projected for 29 points tonight. Definitely a ton of upside there once again, and a pretty consistent performer so far this season. And his price tag really just hasn't gone up so far this year, oddly enough. And then last but not least, we have Miles Turner at $5,700. Looking for 28, 29 points on him. He's averaging 38 so far on the season. Currently, I'm projected for about 31, 32 points. Definitely has some upside for more as we've seen so far this season. Obviously, the games that he hasn't really paid off. It's been more of a minutes thing, which was just kind of a couple odd games. Really don't have too much concern there tonight. He is going against Nikola Jokic, but I don't really care too much about that matchup. I think he'll be just fine. It's not like he's going to get in major foul trouble or anything else like that. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you'll have $23,300 remaining, just under $7,800 per player. So definitely a little bit of room if you want to pay up for a couple guys. You can definitely do that on tonight's slate. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced build, that's definitely fine as well. Could be some other value opening up throughout the day as we do get some injury news as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, at the point guard position, we're going to go with Marcus Smart. He's $5,600. We're looking for 28 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging 27 per game so far on the season. Goes against the Pistons tonight. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him. He's had some upside games in recent games as well. Currently, I'm projected for 29 points tonight. Could have a little bit of upside for more as well. Then we move down to shooting guard with Zach LaVine. He's $7,000, which is just too cheap of a price tag for him at this point in time. He's 35 points is what we're looking for out of him, averaging about 34.5 so far on the season. Goes against the Pelicans, maybe a little bit of pace-up spot tonight as well. Currently, I'm projected for 36 points, but he definitely has some upside for more as well. And then we move down to small forward with Royce O'Neal. Not a sexy name here by any means. He's $4,800, looking for 24 points out of him. He's averaging just over 27 on the season so far. Currently, I'm projected for 26, 27 points tonight. He's playing big minutes, gets a little bit of stats in every regard, whether it's a little bit of points, rebounds, steals, blocks, assists. He does a little bit of everything, and when you're playing as many minutes as he is, it's kind of paying off so far this season and a reasonable price tag overall. Then at power forward, we're going to go with Al Horford at $5,100. Looking for 25, 26 points out. He's averaging just over 22.5 so far this season, but he's been playing bigger minutes as of late and playing pretty well. Currently, I'm projected for 28 points tonight. He's hit 30 in the past couple of games as well and been over 30 minutes. Should be a pretty favorable spot versus the Detroit Pistons tonight as well. Then last but not least, at the center position, we're going to go with Sengun. He's $6,600. Looking for 33 points out of him. He's averaging 35 so far on the season. He's had some pretty big boom games as of late. Goes against the Toronto Raptors. Not a bad matchup, not a good matchup either. Kind of the middle of the pack there for him overall. Could be a game where he kind of goes off if this game gets going back and forth. Some scoring gets done. Sengun is probably going to be a major reason why on the Rockets side. Him and Jalen Green probably, but I do have Sengun projected for about 34, 35 points tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here on the FanDuel side, you have $30,900 remaining, just over $7,700 per player. So definitely some room and some flexibility if you want to pay up for a couple star players, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced build, that's definitely fine as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 9th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Please designate that for your favorite play and your questions as well as possible, so I am best able to help you save a little bit of time too, instead of you asking a question, me asking whether it's for FanDuel or DraftKings. Just makes the process a whole lot easier overall. And then with that being said, I will be listing all the injury updates that we do get throughout the day, as well as most of the starting lineups. Definitely the early games. Try to get some of the later games as well. And then if there's any updates to the core, I'll list that about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, or as those updates do become available. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now it is NBA and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who is yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS Core Pick videos just like this, Monday through Friday. And then I have the weekly Core Pick video for NFL DFS, as well as the 2 live streams for Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. So definitely be sure to check that out if you're into NFL DFS as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.